Okay. Hi, Molly. How have you been doing?
I've been all right. How are you?
Not too bad. Tell me what's been going on this week.
Well, part of the reason I wanted to come in today and talk is because I'm in the midst of finals right now. And it's the end of my first semester of grad school,
Okay.
and I just have a lot going on.
A lot to get done.
Yeah, I have a lot of assignments to get done, and on top of that, I'm working, and I just very, very panicky.
Right, definitely stressed out with all of your time commitments everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm almost getting nervous that I'm not gonna get everything done.
Okay.
So.
Tell me a little bit more about what you have to get done.
Okay, so I have to think about this. I have a final paper, a take-home exam, a mock therapy session to film and a reflection that goes along with that. I have another 10-page paper for a class, a physical sit-down final. I only have one of those, but it's for the class that I am struggling the most in, and I'm very concerned I'm going to fail. And then on top of all of that, I have a 20 to 40-page research paper due.
Oh wow. Definitely a lot going on in the school department right now.
And on top of all of that, I work.
You are very busy.
Yes.
Like beyond busy.
Yes. I pretty much any second I'm not doing schoolwork, I'm at work, and when I'm not at work, I have to devote that time to schoolwork, and I just am constantly going in 100 different directions. I never get to just
You never get time for yourself. You never get to sit down and breathe and just relax.
And in my helping relationships class, I've noticed we've talked about burnout a couple times, and I'm definitely starting to feel it. And one of the things we did a little burnout scale that it talked about was taking time for yourself and not overextending yourself. And I'm definitely overextending.
You're definitely noticing that you're not taking that time that you really need to be mentally and physically healthy.
Yeah, and I think that's what's starting to concern me is because I am so close to the end of the semester. I can see the deadlines because pretty much all of that stuff is due by this Thursday.
Okay.
So I've been plugging away at it. I've been getting things done, but it's I'm so close to the end of the semester that it's almost like I've been running on adrenaline. And now that I'm so close to the end of the semester and I have a couple of those assignments done, my body is starting to calm down, and I can just feel myself.
Your gas tank's kind of on empty at this point.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And I'm nervous that that's starting to affect the quality of my work. I'm worried that some of these assignments and this final and things like that, I'm not going to be able to handle because I'm so
drained.
I'm drained. That's a good way to put it. I feel like I have nothing left to give, but I need to find something.
Right. So you are kind of battling with the fact that you've got all these assignments you have to get done. All of them have deadlines, and you want to put in the quality of work that you can achieve, but you're also dealing at the same time with the fact that you're out of that energy, and you're in a spot where you're kind of dragging a little.
Yeah. And I feel as though I could fix that by taking a little time, but I can't justify it to myself because I'm worried that if I take time to recuperate and things like that and give myself a break, it's not going to get done. And then I'm sitting here and I'm it's so close to the end of the semester. Just power through, you'll get everything done.
Right. So you're in that spot where you've got all this going on with school. You need to take the time for yourself, and you just can't bring yourself to do it at this point.
Yeah. And I've kind of always been that way. I'm looking back, I was very busy in undergrad too. I was a double major. I was involved in a lot of clubs on campus, and I worked. So I tend to be one of those people that does better when I'm busy up to a point. When I get to the point of being too exhausted, I'm done. I have nothing else. And I am I just can't justify taking time for myself when I know that I have things to do.
Right.
So.
Right. So it definitely seems like you're wanting to work towards a place where you can be able to take that time for yourself, but it's just kind of a spot where you're not sure how that's going to go yet.
Exactly, because I know that if I do, like, even, for example, like right now, like if I take a night off to relax the entire time, I know I'm not going to relax because the entire time I'm going to be sitting there being like, I should write my reflection for my counseling session. I should do my research paper. Oh my God, did I fail my exam? Like, it's going to be running around in my head, and I'm just going to feel more stressed out.
Right, even though you're physically relaxing, your brain
my brain will not be relaxing.
Okay.
My brain doesn't know how to relax. Ever.
That's definitely a problem that, I work with a lot of students who are in undergrad and graduate school, and it seems like that's a pretty common problem, coming in and not knowing when is a good time to take time for themselves and having that struggle, like being super busy but being super drained. And, I think that's something that I've had some success working with other students on, and so I think that's something we can start to figure out how to work towards and get you ready to start taking time for yourself if that's something that you think you might want to work towards.
Yes.
So I want to do this activity with you before we move forward. There's an activity that I've done with a lot of the students who I work with called a decisional balance, because it seems like there are a lot of times when they're not exactly, they like want to make a change, but they're not totally sure. And so this is an activity that lets us look at the positives and negatives of changing or not changing. So it kind of lets us look at the situation from all aspects and helps us make a decision.
Okay.
So right now we're looking at taking time for ourselves.
Okay.
Taking time for self. All right, and so if you look, we have a category for change and a column for not changing.
Okay.
So for keeping our behaviors completely the same. And we're going to look at the pros and cons for both.
Okay.
So when it comes to deciding to take time for yourself, what are some positives that are tied to making that decision?
I feel like overall, I'll just like feel better. As vague as that sounds, I'll be more relaxed.
Like the weight is kind of lifted.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I feel like if I can get myself to take that time, it's going to extend to all the other aspects of my life, because I'm going to stop running myself into the ground.
Right.
Like I'll have the chance to recuperate and recharge.
Can recharge. That I like the way you phrase that. Can recharge. Anything else that you can think of for positives for changing?
Just like to take time for myself. It'll give me just like time to do things that I want to do. Like I can't tell you the last time I read a book for fun.
Okay.
Because I'm like, why would I read this book when I should be reading my research methods textbook?
Right.
So
then, making the decision to not change.
Okay.
What do you think are positives that are related to that?
I feel like when I'm busy like this, I'm much better at time management, if that makes sense. Because I know that I'm in class for a certain amount of hours and I'm at work for a certain amount of hours. And so the time that I'm not in either one of those places, that's when I have to work. Whereas when I feel like if I do take a lot more time for myself, it's going to cause me almost to procrastinate.
Okay.
Because I'll realize, if I can take this time for myself, I can find time to do this homework. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're better at time management and you run the risk of procrastinating.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I need to make money. I can't.
Right, you don't want to give up the hours.
Exactly, because it's I need to be able to live and eat food and afford groceries, so I don't want to give up the hours and not be making the money that I need to live.
Right. So then, if you do make the decision to change the behavior and take time for yourself, what are some negatives that could potentially be associated?
Kind of, almost so some cons to changing. I'm worried I'm going to tell myself, as weird as it sounds, I'm going to tell myself to change and I'm not going to do it.
So it's going to be kind of almost a disappointment in yourself for not changing?
Exactly. So almost like, and then I'm worried that, like, I'm going to start seeing taking time for myself as, like, a chore.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be like, oh, like, well, now I have to, like, now I feel like I have to go, like, read a book, and it's going to cause me to start seeing things that I enjoy almost in, like, a negative light, because I'm going to have to, like, force myself to do it.
You want to be able to enjoy it and not feel like it's mandatory.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some other cons for changing. Kind of like I was saying before, like, I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to, like, handle myself as well. You know what I mean? Like, in the sense that I'm not going to be as disciplined with my schoolwork.
Okay. I mean, let me know what you think about this one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, change is hard.
Yeah.
You know? It's you have to put in effort, and it's difficult sometimes.
I'm okay with change in general, but, like, when I personally have to change them, I, like, am the worst. Like, I can't tell you the amount of times I've, like, said I'm going to go to the gym, and then I go for a week, and then I'm like, this is too much for me.
Right.
So, I agree with that.
So then, what about some cons for not changing? What are some negatives that can come about from you deciding you're not changing your behavior?
I'm just going to continue to, like, kind of like I was saying earlier, like, run myself into the ground and not give myself a chance to heal.
All right.
Which,
overworking yourself.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Which can then, like, extend to other things. Like I was saying, like, I have nothing left to give right now. Like, I feel like I have nothing left, but I have to. So I'm going to do it. But, like, for this research paper, like, is the quality going to be there?
Right.
Like, is it going to be as good as it could have been if I had taken time to relax?
Right, if you've taken the time to recharge and then gone back to it and worked on it a little more after that. Any other cons you can think of?
Just the fact that, like, this is going to sound really stupid, but, like, I really hate this about myself. Like, I have a love-hate relationship because I love the fact that, like, I can keep myself busy, but I hate it at the same time because, like, I know the effect it has on me. So if I don't change, I'm going to continue feeling this frustration.
Okay.
And I am the type of person that when I'm frustrated, I just cry all the time. And I'm so sick of crying at work because I'm so frustrated.
Right. So, yeah, it definitely does not seem like something that's pleasant or something that you'd want to.
No, it freaks my boss out. He'll see me, like, starting to tear up, and he's like, I'll go get someone else to deal with you.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
So it definitely seems like we've got some, you know, good pros for changing, but then also, you know, you made some pretty valid points for not changing. And, you know, right now we're talking about making this change. What kind of emotions and feelings does that bring up for you, just thinking about having to put in the effort to do this?
A lot of emotions. It kind of freaks me out a little bit, because, like I was saying, like, I physically can't wrap my mind around taking time for myself right now, just because it's finals. Like, finals is when you're not supposed to take time for yourself. Finals is when you're supposed to be pulling all-nighters and living on coffee and, like, eating McDonald's at 2 a.m. because you've been up all night studying. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like right now I can't picture that, but at the same time, like, I know I need to. So it's kind of like a mixture of, like, not being able to picture it, but, like, excited to do it at the same time.
Right, so you're torn, you know,
Yeah.
you got all this stuff to do. You're definitely in a lot of places with it. You've got
Yeah.
a lot to do, and you know you need to put in the effort, but you know that you need this. You know that you need it.
And it's like, it is definitely something I want to do. Like, I know that I need to start being better about taking care of myself, because if I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of everything else I have going on.
Right.
So
your mental health and your physical health is just as important as, and sometimes even more important than the list of things that needs to get done.
Yes, it is.
So, you know, talking about this, it definitely seems like you are, like, gung-ho for making this change, and this is definitely something that you want to do.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that is wonderful, because I definitely think that we can come up with some ways to, even, like, baby steps to get you working towards making this change for yourself. So I want to talk about, you know, have you tried anything in the past to get yourself to kind of take time for yourself? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Honestly, no. Like,
Okay.
I have never, like, done anything like that because,
Okay.
like, I'm kind of the type of person that just, like, go, 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 go. Like, I went from being a double major in college to immediately working 40 hours to grad school, being a full-time grad student, and then simultaneously working 30 hours. Like, I have never, like, really taken time for myself other than, like, coming home after work and, like, watching Netflix.
Right.
You know, like...
So, I mean, it seems like you just never really let yourself have that.
No.
You just kind of deprived yourself of that until you're realizing it now.
Yeah, for, like, 22 years.
Well, then I definitely think, this is a good time to start.
Yeah.
It's never too late to start taking care of your own mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that making the decision to start working on it is a really good thing. So what are to start us off, like, what are some good things that you think can come of you making this change? Like, I know we talked about this decisional balance. So, I mean, can you think of anything besides these feel like you can feel relaxed, like the weight is lifted?
I just kind of feel like I'll be in a better mood in general, and I feel as though it'll give me, like, more time. I mean, I know we keep saying, like, focusing, but it'll give me more time to focus on myself in the sense that, like, I can figure out, like, what I want. So it's, like, in the sense that, like, I can take this time to, like, go to the gym or read a book or try kickboxing, like, I'll have the option to do things that I want to do versus things I have to do.
You can kind of figure out what Molly likes to do for fun.
Exactly, because I don't really know anymore. Like, I know I like to read books, but, like I said, I don't know the last time I read a book, so.
Right. It gives you that opportunity to really explore your world outside of
because it's like, I feel like everyone always, like, has these hobbies, like knitting and, like, going for runs, and, like, my roommate loves working out, and they're like, Molly, what are your hobbies? And I'm like, school, because that's all I do.
Right. So it gives you a chance to explore those hobbies, too, and, like, give you something that you can learn and, like, build upon, things like that.
Yeah.
So let's brainstorm a little bit. What are some baby steps you think could start working you towards taking more time for yourself?
I feel like, I don't know. This is going to maybe sound weird, and feel free to correct me, but I feel like something that would help would be for me to, like, start scheduling it in.
Okay.
Like, I have this hourly planner that I literally use for everything to be like, I work this time, like, so I have this much of my day type of thing, and I'll write down, like, when things are doing it and when, like, how long I want to spend each day working on my research proposal. So I feel like it might help me to be like, okay, I'm gonna, like, work on my research proposal for 2 hours, and then instead of immediately going into my multicultural paper, I'm gonna, like, take an hour to, like...
Right, 7 to 8 p.m. is Molly's time to do what Molly wants.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's go to the gym or cook a good dinner or something like that, but just, like, making sure that I have... that I have time to do it, because then it, like, proves to me that there is time.
Right, and then you have time where nothing else is intruding upon
Exactly,
it.
because I feel like part of the reason I'm not doing this right now is because I'm like, I can't.
Right.
But it's like, I feel like if I put it in my planner, it's like, no, right here, like, clearly there is time for you to do this.
Right, exactly.
I feel like it'll make it more concrete for me.
Okay. Do you have any other options you might want to go for, or do you think that might be the one that is probably the best option?
I feel like for me, that's probably the best way to start.
Okay.
Along with, like, maybe having, as stupid as it sounds, like, having my roommate hold me accountable, be like, okay, what did you do for yourself today?
Okay, so kind of, like, talk to your roommate, get her in on the whole situation.
Exactly. Like, have her remind me, be like, don't forget, like, you've been working on your paper for 8 hours. Like, you need to take a break and focus on yourself.
Okay. So I definitely think those are two really smart ways to start figuring this out and figuring out where that time fits in and how you want to be able to use that time. What do you think is a realistic time frame to start working on some of this stuff, like to talk to your roommate and to start scheduling it in?
I feel like, kind of like I was saying, like, for finals and everything, I don't know if I can get myself to start doing it during finals, because I think, like I said, it's going to get me more stress.
Right.
But I think trying to do it, because pretty much finals for me end the 15th, and I go back to working 40 hours on the 16th.
Okay.
So I think trying to make sure that I take that time for myself, like when I'm like just working instead of working in school, will get me like used to it.
Okay. So
that way, like
after finals.
Yeah. So that way, like once school starts back up again and I'm doing my practicum and working and all my other classes, like I'll kind of already be in the swing of like, okay, make sure that you take a little time. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. And so I think in the next couple of weeks we'll meet again, and we've got this goal of scheduling in the time that you're going to take time for yourself to do whatever it is that you want to do for that hour, and then talking to your roommate and kind of bringing her in on the whole plan and making sure that she can try to help keep you accountable. And so next week, well, not next week since we're starting after finals, so in a couple weeks, once you've started doing this for a little while, I think it'd be good if you come back and like report back kind of, you know, what you've tried, how well it's worked scheduling it in, and how well it's worked having your roommate in on it. Okay. And I definitely think this is something that is realistic as a first step, and we'll definitely keep touching on this and keep building on it so that you can really get that time for you that'll bring you to a better place.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.